Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is Daily Trading Analysis with a quick market update for today, Monday, 21st of August. We are starting the week today without economic data, so we are going to focus on the technicals that today are quite interesting on the details. This is the daily Nasdaq chart. As you can see, we are holding the pivot on the daily on the 26th of June. We were bouncing on Friday, action doji, huge doji, and today we were gapping up and reclaiming this daily level. The range is quite decent today. We are not entering continuation into this area below 14,890, and on the 30-minute chart, as you can see, we are trying to bounce, make higher low, and change a little bit of trend. Is this going to be a dead cat bounce? Who knows? But what is true is that we were gapping off Friday, gapping up from Fridays, and today's target for me it's 14,960 or even 1500. It all depends on Apple and the big stocks, and the most interesting thing today that is causing a lot of issues and weakness on the stock market is the dollar and the yields. Dollar was having a nice push before the open since London Open. As you can see, we were going higher, and right now into the lunch and into the afternoon we are seeing some weakness. It's barely in the red, 0.13, but the thing that you have to be aware today is the yields. This is the 2-year yield. As you can see, we are continuing pressuring with higher lows into this ascending triangle flat top breakout through 5%. This is super bad, and this is scary for the markets. And the 10-year yield, as you can see, it's breaking 2008 levels above 4.3%. Yields going higher destroys the stock market, and we are not seeing correlation as we would like to see on the dollar for the stock market to really flash. So the stock market is basically holding as much as it can these levels. So regarding the 15-minute chart, we saw a little bit of push into the open through pre-market high and this daily level, the blue dot line that we were mentioning earlier, the pivot on the daily. We pushed higher, but we couldn't see that 14,950 or even 15,000 target. We quickly rejected as the 2-year yield was making new highs and freaking out the market. So now into the afternoon, we are seeing a bounce of the lows of day. And if we go to the 1-minute chart, we can see that I have an alarm at 14,890 because I'm seeing structure on the lows, accumulation. The point of control is now below price, and I think we can see a test of high of day today into the initial targets that we had at 14,900. Dollar is pulling back, as you can see, below the 45 EMA, but yields are still in the green, meaning that don't risk. If you are in the green, don't risk it. I think this is a high risk trade, willing into the afternoon to see that high of the test. There's opportunity, but there's also a lot of risk. So manage your risk, put your stops, and try to be disciplined if you are not feeling it. If we check Apple, the 1-minute chart, Apple was quite weak into the open, trying to start trend, but look at this bear flag. First push, consolidation, second leg, and it's trying to move higher. That's why it's dragging the market up. The big two names today, Tesla, it's 5.75% today. Huge day for Tesla, gapping up. We are going to establish this gap before the close today. And also Nvidia. Look at this gap. Huge gap up on Nvidia. 6%, 5.50%, looking towards 558, 560, and looking quite strong. This is fueling the market. And also Meta, also almost 2% on the day, trying to bounce and filling this gap so we can get rid of these levels. So bounce on Meta, bounce on Nvidia, huge gap up. Bounce on Tesla. Microsoft is also strong, 1.31, bouncing off this daily pivot. And also Apple. Apple is surprisingly the weaker one of these because it didn't fill the gap, not even started below 171. 175 is quite important. As you can see, this level is quite important. We tried to go into the open. After the open, we quickly rejected, and now we are pushing that again. So as long as risk is, there's a lot of risk today. We are seeing huge push ups, huge push downs. There's no clear direction. We have strong names like Tesla and Nvidia, but the riskier thing today are yields. We are seeing it in the media. We are seeing it on the charts that risk are reaching new highs, new territory from more than 15 years ago. So be really careful, because if dollar starts pushing up again, as it was doing throughout all this morning, the stock market is going to have a lot of issues testing high of days. Another thing is that banks are all in the red. JP Morgan, it's in the red. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, even regionals are in the red. So be really careful today. It's not everything as good as it might look. So be really careful, manage your risk, manage your expectations, because we might see a slow grind into the close or even a huge rejection again. It's true that in my last video, I was watching this slowly grind on Friday. The cumulative delta was big time high. So that's why I call that video investors, big players, long-term buyers are stepping in, and I think today I expected way more from the markets, but look like a lot of rejections due to these high yields on the day. So the 10-year is still almost 2%, the 2-year is 0.80. Be very careful, because these are against the market, against the stock market. So if you are willing to take the risk, it's worth watching the Nasdaq into high of day for the afternoon into the close. We might see some push there, squeezing the shorts that are for sure waiting at high of day here, and we might see the initial target 15,000 way up here. That would be enormous and a big time squeeze for shorts. But if not, manage your risk. You have to do that. You have to manage your risk first, and then profits will come. And that's all from my side. I wanted to highlight the fact that the stock market is trying to go higher, but yields are entering high territory, new territories for more than 15 years ago, and that's worth mentioning. Be really careful today. Apple is trying to push, but banks are in the red. There's a mixed sentiment. For sure, tech is trying to creep higher, but perhaps Monday is not the day to push it. We have all the week to really take those opportunities and manage our risks. That's the first thing we have to do. So one last thing regarding the earnings. This week we have on Wednesday after the close Nvidia. I think Nvidia is buy the rumor, sell the news. We have to look a lot into detail into the earnings, because there's a lot of expectations for Nvidia to grow big time, fueled by AI. So manage your expectations, because the implicit volatility on options is really, really huge, and it might not do what a lot of people is expecting it to do. So it might be a big frustration, a big deception. So be really careful if you are trading Nvidia. It's worth watching, but be really careful. And last time, let's go into review what are the economic data for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we have existing home sales, home sector. On Wednesday we have the advanced S&P Global Manufacturing and Services. We expected those to not continue higher, because inflation is sticky to services. And finally, on Thursday, we have durable goods. We have, as all Thursdays, continuing jobless claims and initial jobless claims. And on Friday, Chair Powell's speech is starting the Jackson Home Symposium, and this is going to be huge for the markets. So until Friday, manage your risk, pay attention to yields because those are really scary right now and are freaking out the market. And apart from that, I hope you are starting the week in the green. There's plenty of opportunities until Friday. Don't miss them trying to push it today. Today is quite difficult due to these yields pushing higher, but Tesla and Nvidia are pushing. So it's up to you to decide if you are willing to risk it. So that's all from my side. As always, if you found this video useful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel because I upload videos every single day for market forecasts, market updates, and market recaps. I appreciate your time as always. Remember that discipline and risk management are key for your success in these markets. Stay safe everyone and see you tomorrow.